Good morning, everyone. We now call this meeting to order for the pre-bid conference for the 9 projects which were published last May 20 to May 26, 2025. Before we proceed, may I request the Secretariat to do a roll call of those who are in attendance today to determine if there's a quorum among BAC members. Please.
Good morning, everyone. We would like to acknowledge the presence of the following members of the BAC. We have Jaime P. Baquiran, BAC Chairperson; Grace B. Chua, BAC Vice Chairperson; Marian Crisel Jean D. Sagaok, BAC Member; Lorito C. Balinya Jr., BAC Member; Darius E. Mercado, BAC Provisional Member; Clint Kevin Filipino, BAC Provisional. We have 4 regular member present and 2 provisional member. We have a quorum. And also acknowledge the presence of BACSEC and TWG, Randolph E. Aquino, Elmer G. Silaw, John Ray Passion, Donita Rose A. Stibang, Charlotte B. Diaz, yours truly. That's all for the attendance for today.
Thank you, Secretariat, for the brief basic contractual for the 9 projects. For the first project with ID number 25OI0125, rehabilitation of road including drainage at Barangay Ilaya, LasPinas City, with a duration of 120 calendar days, ABC of 2,969,751 pesos and 72 centavos. Major work category: flood control, construction, drainage, close and open conduits. For the second project with ID number 25OI0126, construction of road including drainage at Barangay Pamplona 3, LasPinas City, with a duration of 120 calendar days, ABC of 11,879,833 pesos and 9 centavos. Major work category: roads, rehabilitation, PCCP. For the third project, with ID number 25OI0127, construction of multipurpose building, Pilar, LasPinas City, Lone District, with a duration of 120 calendar days, ABC of 11,879,224 pesos and 45 centavos. Major work category: buildings, construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 story. And for the fourth project with ID number 25OI0128, construction of multipurpose building at Barangay Manuyo, 1, LasPinas City, with a duration of 120 calendar days, ABC of 2,969,996 pesos and 49 centavos. Major work category: buildings, construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For the fifth project with ID number 25OI0129, rehabilitation of road including drainage at Barangay D. Fajardo, LasPinas City, with a duration of 120 calendar days, ABC of 6,929,996 pesos and 91 centavos, with major work category: flood control, construction, drainage, close and open conduits. For the sixth project with ID number 25OI0130, rehabilitation of multipurpose facilities including other improvements at Barangay Talon 5, LasPinas City, with a duration of 120 calendar days, ABC of 7,919,355 pesos and 52 centavos. Major work category: buildings, construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For the seventh project with ID number 25OI0131, rehabilitation of road including drainage at Barangay Pamplona 2, LasPinas City, with a duration of 210 calendar days, ABC of 14,849,910 pesos and 98 centavos. Major work category, flood control, construction, drainage, closed and open conduits. For the 8th project, with ID number 25OI0132, construction of multipurpose building, Zapote, LasPinas City, Lone District, with the duration of 120 calendar days, ABC of 4,949,925 pesos and 4 centavos. Major work category, buildings, repair. And for the 9th project, with ID number 25OI0133, rehabilitation of road including drainage at Barangay, Elias, Aldana, LasPinas City, with a duration of 150 calendar days, ABC of 6,927,175 pesos and 71 centavos, with a major work category, flood control, construction, drainage, closed and open conduits, equivalent to 53.5%, RRP roads, rehabilitation, PCCP, equivalent to 46.5%. And now may I request Engineer Kevin to read the requirements of bidding document, sir.
Good morning. Here are the requirements of bidding documents. For the technical documents, the following must be submitted. PhilJEP Certificate of Registration and Membership based on GPPB Resolution Number 15-2021. If not yet enrolled in the CWA, the following must be included in the bid. PCAB license and registration, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, SLCC, NFCC computation and statement of total assets and total liabilities, and joint venture agreement if applicable. Next is the bid security using Form DPWH Infra 10, 11, or 12 revised. For the project requirements, the following must be included in the bid proposal. Duly initialed organizational chart for the contract using Form DPWH Infra 13. Duly initialed contractors list of key personnel for the contract using Form DPWH Infra 14. Duly initialed list of contractors' major equipment using Form DPWH Infra 15, and sworn statement under RA 9184-IRR Section 25.2b using Form DPWH Infra 16 revised, and for the additional requirement, the preliminary examination of technical proposal form or checklist may be included. For the financial documents, the following must be submitted. Duly signed bid form, duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities using forms DPWH Infra 17 and 18, duly initial detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used, duly initial cash flow by quarter using form DPWH Infra 19, and for the additional requirement, preliminary examination of financial documents form or checklist may be included. For the documents to be submitted by the contractor, the bidding requirements. The bidding for the project shall be governed by all the provisions of RA number 9184 and its 2016 revised IRR, including its generic procurement manual and associated policies, rules, and regulations as the primary source thereof, while the herein clauses shall serve as a secondary source thereof. Any amendments made to the IRR and other GPPB issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting, advertisement, or invitation to bid by the BAC through the issuance of a supplemental or bid bulletin. The bidder, by the act of submitting its bid, shall be deemed to have inspected the site, determined the general characteristics of the contracted works, and the conditions for this project, such as the location and the nature of the work, climatic conditions, transportation facilities, nature and condition of the terrain, geological conditions of the site communication facilities, requirements, location, and availability of construction aggregates and other materials, labor, water, electric power and access roads, and other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. The eligible bidders. Only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. The bidder must have an experience of having completed a single largest completed contract or SLCC that's similar to this project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC adjusted, if necessary, by the bidder to current prices using the PSA CPI, except under conditions provided for in Section 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184. A contract is considered to be similar to the contract to be bid if it has the major categories of work stated in the BDS. The bidder shall comply with the eligibility criteria under Section 23.4.2 of the 2016 IRR of RA number 9184. For the clarification and amendment of bidding documents, prospective bidders may request for clarification on and/or interpretation of any part of the bidding documents. Such requests must be in writing and received by the procuring entity, either at its given address or through electronic mail indicated in the IB, at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. For the documents comprising the bid, eligibility and technical components, the first envelope shall contain the eligibility and technical documents of the bid as specified in Section 9, Checklist of Technical and Financial Documents. A valid PCAB license is required, and in case of joint ventures, a valid special PCAB license and registration for the type and cost of the contract for this project. Any additional type of contractor license or permit shall be indicated in the BDS. A list of contractors' key personnel, example project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, safety officer, and foremen assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data shall be provided. As shown on the screen, here are the minimum years of experience for the following key personnel. For contract ID numbers 25OI0125, 25OI0126, 25OI0129, and 25OI0131 and 25OI0133. For the project manager, the minimum years of similar experience of same position is 5 years, and the minimum years of total work experience of same position is also 5 years. Same goes with the project engineer, the foreman. The minimum years of similar experience of same position is 5 years, and the minimum years of total work experience of same position is also 5 years. For the materials engineer, the minimum years of similar experience of same position, he must be at least an accredited materials engineer 1, and the minimum years of total work experience requirement, he or she must be at least an accredited materials engineer 1. For the safety officer, he or she must be a construction safety and health certificate holder. For contract ID numbers 25OI0127, 25OI0128, 25OI0130, and 25OI0132. Here are the minimum years of similar experience of same position. For the project manager is 5 years. The minimum years of total work experience of same position is also 5 years. For the project engineer, the minimum years of similar experience of same position and the minimum years of total work experience of same position is an accreditation, at least provisional project engineer. For the foreman, the minimum years of similar experience of same position and the minimum years of total work experience of same position is also 5 years. For the materials engineer, he or she must be at least an accredited materials engineer 1, and for the safety officer, he or she must be a construction safety and health certificate holder. A list of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. Here are the minimum equipment to be used for the following contracts. For contract ID number 25OI0125, 1 unit of each of the following equipment must be provided: water truck, dump truck, water truck, cargo truck, or delivery truck. For contract ID number 25OI0126, 1 unit of each of the following must be provided: backhoe, dump truck, backhoe with breaker, payloader, vibratory roller, water truck or pump, cargo or service truck. For contract ID number 25OI0127, 1 unit of each of the following must be provided: backhoe, dump truck, concrete pump, and boom truck. For contract ID number 25OI0128, 1 unit of each of the following: elf hauling truck and boom truck. For contract ID number 25OI0129, 1 unit of dump truck, 1 unit of water truck, and cargo truck or delivery truck is required. For contract ID number 25OI0130, 1 unit of each of the following equipment must be provided: backhoe, dump truck, and boom truck. For contract ID number 25OI0131, 1 unit of each of the following equipment must be provided: backhoe with breaker, dump truck, water truck, cargo truck or delivery truck, payloader, vibratory roller, asphalt distributor, asphalt paver, pneumatic tire roller, tandem steel roller. For contract ID number 25OI0132, 1 unit of cargo or service truck, 1 unit of backhoe, 1 unit of dump truck, and one boom truck are required for this contract. And lastly, for contract ID number 25OI0133, 1 unit of each of the following equipment must be provided: backhoe with breaker, payloader, dump truck, water truck or pump, and vibratory roller. For the documents comprising the bid, financial component. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents of the bid as specified in Section 9, Checklist of Technical and Financial Documents. Any bid exceeding the ABC indicated in paragraph 1 of the IB shall not be accepted. For the bid security, the bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in the amount indicated in the BDS, which shall not be less than the percentage of the ABC in accordance with the schedule in the BDS. The bid and bid security shall be valid 120 calendar days after opening of bids. Any bid not accompanied by an acceptable bid security shall be rejected by the procuring entity as non-responsive. For sealing and marking of bids, each bidder shall submit 1 copy of the first and second components of its bid. The procuring entity may request additional hard copies and/or electronic copies of the bid. However, failure of the bidders to comply with the said request shall not be a ground for disqualification. If the procuring entity allows the submission of bids through online submission to the given website or any other electronic means, the bidder shall submit an electronic copy of its bid. An electronic copy that cannot be opened or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. For the opening and preliminary examination of bids, the BAC shall open the bids in public at the time, on the date, and at the place specified in paragraph 9 of the IB. The bidders' representatives who are present shall sign a register evidencing their attendance. In case the bids cannot be opened as scheduled due to justifiable reasons, the rescheduling requirements under Section 29 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 shall prevail. Section 30 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 shall govern the preliminary examination of bids. For the detailed evaluation and comparison of bids, the procuring entity's BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids rated pass using a non-discretionary pass or fail criteria. The BAC shall consider the conditions in the evaluation of bids under Section 32.2 of 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184. Section 32.2.1 of 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 for the completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of required items in the bidding documents including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive, but specifying a 0 or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. For the post-qualification, within an unextendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that is submitted the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit its latest income and business tax returns filed and paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment system, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. For our timelines, the last day of clarification or query is on May 30, 2025, which is 10 days before the deadline of receipt of bid. The deadline of receipt of bid is at 12 noon of June 9, 2025, and the opening of bids will immediately follow after the deadline of submission or receipt of bids.
Ah, sure.